I'm wild again, beguiled again, a simpering, whimpering child again, bewitched, bothered, and bewildered. Oh my god, he's singing in this review? Oh, this franchise is ruined! Folie, Deux released this past weekend in 2024 and is directed by Todd Phillips, who's also behind such films like Old School, Starsky and Hutch, The Hangover trilogy, War Dogs, and Joker. And apparently he's behind destroying all of the fanboys' fantasy of this character of Joker, but gosh, we'll get into that here in a couple seconds. And this film is starring once again Joaquin Phoenix reprising the role of Arthur Fleck, Lady Gaga, Brendan Gleeson, Catherine Keener, and Zazie Beetz. Arthur Fleck has been locked up in Arkham State Hospital for the murder of Murray Franklin from the first movie, and is waiting to go on trial to defend himself and to avoid the electric chair. But in these next couple of days, he meets this intriguing young woman who is infatuated by the Joker character that she saw on TV. And as the court days quickly approach, they explore their relationship even more through musical song. And that's the big criticism that I've seen from this film since it was released this past week, of everyone complaining that it was a musical. And I'm shocked that people didn't realize that, because I don't know, all the accounts and everything that I follow all clearly stated that this is a musical. It's a non-conventional musical. There's not a lot of Gene Kelly, Fred Astaire, what we would consider Broadway musicals nowadays. This is more of like a strange, weird, people that can't really sing are singing musical, which technically encompasses a lot of movie musicals that have been produced in the last 10 years, in my opinion. Some shade there. But I went into this movie realizing that it was a musical, and I think a lot of people didn't know that for some reason, so everyone was caught off guard, I guess. And this movie is being panned like crazy. Oh my god, from the weekend, everyone is saying this is the worst shit that they have ever seen. They're calling out James Gunn and Peter Safran, who are running DC Studios now, saying, guys, how could you have done this? I can't believe you've done this. To which James Gunn quickly debunked, saying that no, this film is actually not part of DC Studios. We had no involvement in it. This is actually purely Warner Brothers, because Warner Brothers was behind the original Joker film that made $1 billion, so of course they want to make that money again, so they greenlit a second one, which makes sense. But everyone this past weekend is saying, oh, they took $1 billion franchise and they flushed it down the toilet. And while I do believe that they flushed it down the toilet because they made so many fans angry over this past weekend, I think they did it with intention and with purpose, because the ideas surrounding this movie are not conventional to what we get with a standard comic book movie or a superhero film that we've gotten from the last 24 years. And it didn't upset this movie viewer. I got a lot of the messages and aspects that this film was trying to convey through its storytelling and through its use of music. Now, I'm not devaluing your opinion if you went to see this movie and you walked out or you were so drastically disappointed. Of course, that's your opinion. But for me, I watched this film and I'm intrigued. I'm loving the subtext of what this character of Joker and Arthur Fleck are representing. The first movie was about glorifying this terrible person who committed terrible crimes, killed 3 people on the subway, murdered a TV host on the TV host show for the mass public to see, and it shows how a group of people can take a violent act or a violent situation like that and use it to forward their agenda and forward their purpose into building their community or building their movement and exploiting the said evil situation that happened. And here, they showcase it and they call it out and they crumble it to the ground, in my opinion. Because we do that as a society in real life today. When we see terrible things on the TV or on the news, a school shooting, a hurricane is destroying an entire state, or we see terrible acts of violence on screen, and we see a political party or we see a political movement use those violent instances to forward their agenda of trying to get backing or money or support from a government or from other people so that they can put certain people in offices. In situations like this, they're exploiting the evilness that is actually happening. That's exactly what happens in Joker Folie à Deux. And a little spoiler here, if you have not seen it, we're going to be talking about the courtroom scene in a second. But when he addresses the jury in his final remarks and says, "There is no Joker, it's just me, I'm human, I just want to blow it up," that got to me. I understood exactly what this film was trying to say. And everyone had issues with the ending of this movie and how it was a total and complete letdown to how the first film ended. Personally, I love the ending of this movie. Arthur Fleck's story comes to an end, not in some grand, glorious situation where his death is publicized and produced and shown on TV for all to see. No, he's stabbed in the back hallway of a prison by someone who is angry that the facade that he put on, he totally eliminated that. He totally blew that up. And in turn is probably someone who is more likely to take up the official mantle of Joker later on in life. Of course, we'll never get to see that because this is definitely the last Todd Phillips DC property film that is going to be released, or hell, even Warner Brothers is going to be releasing it. It's all going to be DC Studios now. I love this message and this commentary on exploitation of evilness that happens in the world and people who monetarily benefit from said evil situations that they're exploiting and that they're fighting for the right causes, right? So I say good on Todd Phillips of taking a chance and producing a script that has a lot of this social commentary that not a lot of people want to hear. They want a nice, simple, oh, this is the origin of Joker, and we're gonna get Batman, we're gonna get Bruce Wayne in here, and yeah, it's gonna be a Batman movie again, just like what I want. I appreciate that it's something different and original. Now, when it comes to the musical numbers in here, I mean, yeah, they're not going to be anything special. The singing here is not that great, which is strange because Joaquin Phoenix can sing. He played Johnny Cash in Walk the Line, and he was fantastic. So he's singing as Arthur Fleck, and Arthur Fleck is not... he doesn't have the prettiest voice, speaking voice. So... of course, he hasn't had any official training as a singer, this character of Arthur Fleck, so when Arthur breaks into these musical numbers, it's not going to be the most beautiful thing that you've ever heard. And actually, I really enjoyed that. It's way harder to take someone that actually can carry a tune and have them not carry that tune, if you know what I mean. To purposefully not sing the correct notes or not sing with proper vibrato or posture. As an actor, I think that's fun, and that's way more challenging. And then Lady Gaga is here, of course, as Harley Quinzel. When it comes to the musical performances, absolutely, she blows everyone away, which is smart to put an actual classically trained singer in this film to help support all the other musicals. And there are some numbers in here, mainly focusing on her, that I think are awesome. We're gonna build a mountain, that whole sequence. Like, yeah, just let Lady Gaga go and she's gonna do great. Does the pacing seem slow? Does it seem off-putting? Yes, but I feel like the first one also had off-putting pacing and off-putting storytelling. It felt very slow and very tactful, and it built to a climax that was grandiose, and it felt like it was a big payoff. In here, I feel like we have the same aspects of pacing, where it's slow, it is deliberate, where we just see Arthur Fleck walking down a hallway very slowly, and we hear the amazing score from Hildur. I'm not gonna be able to pronounce the last name, I apologize, but the composer is the same composer from the first film. That score was brilliant, and they continue their brilliance here. But we would see Arthur Fleck just walking down the hall, we would hear all that beautiful cello music, and then we build up to a climax that is not grandiose, that has no sense of grandeur to it. And I feel like a lot of people were let down because of that. For me personally, though, I actually love that aspect. Joker Folie à Deux is definitely an acquired taste, or apparently it's an acquired taste. When I watched this film, I immediately got everything, and I was confused as to why so many people out there are saying this film is the worst movie of the year. Absolutely terrible. I walked out on it. I'm like, have we forgotten movies like Madam Web? Those are movies that you walk out on. This one? No, they're actually telling something. I don't understand all of the hate that this film is getting. I can definitely see how it's off-putting and how some people could feel disappointed by the ending or some aspects of this film. But overall, I enjoyed this movie. I really did. It's definitely not as great as the first one. I'll be honest there. The first one I thought was magnificent, and I thought it was a masterpiece. This one definitely pales in comparison when it comes to establishing that greatness, but I love what this film was saying, and I was getting it. And I guess if you're someone out there that watched this film and just was not understanding where this movie was coming from or what everyone was trying to say, all the artists behind the scenes were trying to say with this movie, then yeah, you're probably not going to enjoy it. But for me, I think I got it, and I enjoyed my time with this movie. I'm going to give Joker Folie a 3.5 out of 5 Blu-rays.
I am above average.
So guys, if you've seen Joker Folie à Deux, what did you think about it? And if you stumbled across it because of this review, then comment below and let me know what you thought about it. And as always, if you like what you see here, if you like my take on movies, then hit the subscribe button and make sure you hit that bell so you'll know the next time I release my next movie review. So guys, I will see you next time on the channel, but in the meantime, be well, be good to each other, and go watch a movie. Take care, guys.